Adventureland in Lenox, Alabama. It is so fun around here. Today is September the 28th, 2025. This morning we'll be in Proverbs chapter 27. Open your Bible exactly to the middle. You should hit Psalms. Actually, technically, Psalms 118, verse 8, if you're worried about it. And the exact middle is the two words, the Lord. He's the middle of the Bible. That's what I've heard. I don't know. I didn't count the letters. Okay. But anyway, so then right after Psalms is a book of Proverbs. If you want to get our series we did on Psalms, Joseph, is that ready? All the slides? Did you find the rest of them?
No, it's not exactly ready. It's getting compiled.
Okay. Soon. You get all my slides. I spent hours and hours on this getting slides. You can use it, preach the sermons, change something if you don't like it. Okay. Okay. Proverbs chapter 27. Humility, prudent decision making, the value of genuine friendship. Some people have never really had a real friend. Okay. Be with you in a minute. Okay. We're on Facebook and on Rumble and on, let's see, Twitter, X. We're on, I have our own app, kenthovind.tv. We're on Instagram, TikTok, a bunch of people following. Sign up for all of them in case they take one down, because they're likely to take one down. Joseph, they said they're reinstating channels that were on YouTube that were taken down for medical misinformation, like the vaccines. That's the reason they took our first one down with 250,000 subscribers.
Yeah, I've appealed on that, and we've already been denied. They don't want that channel back up. Still
I do.
Hear from the Genesis Baptist Church.
All of you call YouTube, whoever they are, say, look, they're Chinese, aren't they? I don't speak any Chinese. Chao Ko, Chao, that's Vietnamese. Never mind. Okay. Anyway, get them to say, look, put that channel back up. I don't hurt anybody. They get all our videos and spread them around to the world. Here we go. 28th, Proverbs 27, September. If you want to join us for any holiday, come on down. We'll be your family. Many people don't have a family. Well, don't be lonely sitting at home. Come visit us. We'll feed you and house you. And if you stay too long, we'll put you to work. The way it works around here. Our fall festival coming up the end of October. Then we have Christmas. Come join us for Christmas. Don't be lonely. Come visit us. We'll treat you like royalty. And we need some more cabin spaces. I'll talk about that in just a minute. We fill them up all the time. Thousands of visitors from all over the world. Church group came down from Birmingham, had a blast, okay, about a week and a half ago. We have church groups come, school groups, doesn't matter. We have 17 lakes and ponds you can fish or swim in, all kinds of fun stuff to do. Let's see, perfect place to bring for family reunions, conference revivals, retreats, scout camps. Come on down. DAL is not a cult, as some of the idiots around here say. It's a Baptist church camp teaching people to believe the Bible and live for God. Bring your whole family. We have stuff for all ages. Let's see, Justin, your boys are 3, 5, and 7. And your wife is a registered nurse. And you've been here a long time. Why did some of the morons call this a cult? And they say they're pedophiles. You got 3 kids, 3, 5, and 7. I got a Swiss Army knife. If we find a pedophile, I'll fix him myself. Okay. There are no pedophiles here. There are no drugs or alcohol. It's a great place for kids of all ages. Perfect place to learn some real science. The earth is 6,000 years old. It is not billions of years old. Dinosaurs lived with man all through history. They called them dragons or some other name. The geologic column does not exist. Grand Canyon is a washed out dam that formed in a few weeks. It did not take millions of years. See, water does not flow uphill in Arizona. And the top of the canyon is 3,000 feet higher than where the river enters the canyon. It's a lake that drained. I show all that in video number 4. Anyway, don't get me riled up here. Evolution is the dumbest and most dangerous religion in the world. And learning how to defend your faith against those who've been brainwashed into that religion is what we're about. Most of you know, DAL's been open for free. We've been building for 9.5 years, built by volunteers and donations from those who love the ministry. Had 40,000 plus visitors from all 50 states and 80 foreign countries. We serve about 3,000 meals a month. We do it all free. Want to help out? People of all ages love it here. We teach hundreds of simple, powerful lessons. If you haven't taken the real tour with me in the Jeep, you haven't seen this part. But we teach them, you got to make decisions carefully. You know, if Dad said, don't go down that hill, but you didn't listen, did you? I tell the parents, take a picture here. That'll save them $50,000. Take a picture of their kid laying there by the sign. I didn't listen to Dad, and blow it up, put it in their bedroom. And when they get ready to do something stupid, hey, come here, kid. Let me remind you of this picture. Those kids had a blast. I do this every day, a couple times a day. Yesterday, our Creation Science Center was attacked by a ferocious T-Rex. I was sitting in my office looking right out the window, and there came this T-Rex. But our fearless secretary and Science Center tour guide came out and scared him away. Thank you, Bobby. You saved us. Is Bobby in here? I told her I was going to mention her this morning. Okay. Our 1/3 scale model of Noah's Ark, 175 feet long, is about 80% done. But now we've come to the most expensive part. We're building 12 nice motel-type rooms in the west end for visitors and staff. We need plumbers and electricians, and 12 toilets, 12 showers, 12 bathroom sinks, a bunch of electrical wiring. Some of you plumbers and electricians, you got all kinds of spare boxes and outlets and stuff. We got to go buy it all. Just bring a bunch with you and help us wire 12 mini apartments, okay? Or help us do the plumbing for them. Okay, let's see. What on earth are you doing for the Lord's kingdom? Okay, come spend a few days and help us out. If you can't come, help those who do. Pay for stuff, okay? It's like, if you like watching grown men fight over a ball and you think that's more important than working for the Lord, then stay home. We'll do it without you. We've addicted ourselves to the ministry. That's a cool verse in 1 Corinthians. They addicted themselves to the ministry. I like that. That's what I want to do. I want that on my tombstone. He was addicted to the ministry. Some people addicted to something else. There's a war going on. In 2 Kings 17, it says they sold themselves to do evil. Some people, that's their goal in life. We had somebody come by a couple nights ago and set our sign on fire. See the bottom corner there? That's right down the road here. So a few nights ago, some brave coward set our signs on fire. Want to help us buy a new one? They're about $3,000 for both sides of that sign, okay? You have to be brave to attack a sign that can't fight back. If you did that, you're a coward, okay? 1350, did I get the right number? I did. I add slides all the time, right up to the last minute. Boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth. How many ever had something unexpected happen to you that you weren't expecting? I guess that would be redundant again, wouldn't it? Okay, yeah. In James, he said, go to now, ye that say today or tomorrow, we will go into such a city and continue there a year and buy and sell and get gain. They already made their plans up. We're going to go there and make a bunch of money. You don't know what shall be on the morrow. What's your life? It's a vapor. Poof. It appeareth for a little time and then vanisheth away. You ought to say, if the Lord will, we will do such and such, okay? Do this or that. This verse is not ruling out wise planning for the future, only being overconfident that you have the ability to control the future, because you don't, and neither do I, okay? No one can presume on God's future. Spurgeon considered what a blessing it was that we do not know what a day may bring. Charles Spurgeon, great preacher of 100 years ago. To know the good might lead us to presumption. To know the evil might tempt us to despair. Happy for us is that our eyes cannot penetrate the thick veil which God hangs between us and tomorrow, and we cannot see beyond the spot where we are now. And that, in a certain sense, we're utterly ignorant to the details of the future. We may indeed be thankful for our ignorance. Spurgeon was great, okay? Boast not thyself of tomorrow. He said, let another man praise thee, and not thine own mouth, a stranger, and not thine own lips. Don't brag about yourself. I am the greatest, Cassius Clay said, and he changed his name to Muhammad Ali. I am the greatest. I said that even before I knew I was. I am the greatest. Till he's laying on the mat, looking around with stars going around. What happened? Not quite the greatest, Mr. Cassius, okay? A stone is heavy. The sand is weighty, but a fool's wrath is heavier than them both. Wrath is cruel, and anger is outrageous. But who's able to stand before envy? Open rebuke is better than secret love. It's better if somebody just tells you right up front, listen, you stink, go take a shower. Oh, okay. Yeah. Wrath is cruel. Who can stand before envy? Envy is an interesting word. A feeling of discontent and resentment aroused by and in conjunction with desire for the possessions or qualities of another. I wish I had what he's got. That's envy, okay? Envy found in the Bible quite a few times. The sound heart is the life of the flesh, but envy is the rottenness of the bones. I forgot to call Patrick Urish up in Pennsylvania. I've heard that people who are envious and always wanting other things but can't get them, it does something to their skeletal structure. Depletes calcium or something. I don't know what it does. He would know. Pat Urish, YURISH.com. Yeah, okay. Urish, IHP, no dot. Urish, IHP, YURISH. He's a genius. He's one of our trustees. Genius on nutrition. Anyway, wrath is cruel. Anger is outrageous. Who's able to stand before envy? For he knew that for envy they delivered him. See, Jesus knew the chief priests had delivered Jesus for envy. He had big crowds following them. Jesus had big crowds following him, and he would teach them. and they'd gather around and listen. The priest would sit there and wish everybody come to hear me. Some people are envious of our YouTube channel and our other channels, aren't they, Joseph? That one guy, AJ, he's always saying, trying to use my name to get more views on his channel. He's envious. I love it. Okay. The patriarchs, moved with envy, sold Joseph into Egypt. They sold their own brother. Why? They were envious of him. Yeah. People do dumb things when they're envious. The Jews saw the multitudes. They were filled with envy. This is in the book of Acts. Jesus is gone. These are the disciples out preaching, and people come to hear him. And the Jews get envious. Wish they'd come hear me preach. Well, say something smart. Maybe they will. Okay. The Jews believed not. They were moved with envy. So they took unto them certain lewd fellows of the baser sort. There's plenty of those around. And gathered a company and set the city on fire. They did a riot. Isn't that what the liberals are doing now? You know what the opposite of right is wrong. Spelled L-E-F-T. Okay. Some indeed preach Christ of envy and strife. He's proud, knowing nothing. Whereof cometh envy, strife, railing. It's in the Bible, 20 times the word envy. You can look it up for yourself. Faithful are the wounds of a friend. Look, when somebody loves you, they'll tell you the truth. But the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. The full soul loatheth an honeycomb, but to the hungry soul every bitter thing is sweet. Faithful, forthwith he came to Jesus and said, Hail, Master, and kissed him. That's Judas. In Mark chapter 14, as soon as he was come, he goeth straightway and said, Master, Master, and kissed him. A woman in Luke chapter 7 stood behind Jesus, washed his feet with her tears and wiped them with her hair and kissed his feet. There's only 2 records of people kissing Jesus in the Bible. Judas to betray him for money, and the woman to show her extreme love and devotion. Have you ever shown your love for the Lord? It would really help if you just tell somebody else about him. That was his greatest command to all the disciples. Guys, would you please go into all the world and spread the gospel? If you're not doing that, you don't get the point. Some of you are more worried about who wins over a stupid ball game or knocking a ball into a hole in the dirt. Whoa, yay. Faithful are the wounds of a friend. Let's see. A full soul loatheth an honeycomb. When somebody's full, you can't feed them anything. Oh, how about some honey? I just can't feed it. But to the hungry soul, every bitter thing is sweet. See, as newborn babes, we're supposed to desire the sincere milk of the word. If you've got Jesus in your heart, there ought to be a hunger where you want to read the word. You want to know. I got a guy text me last night. He's concerned about, can I be sure I'm saved? I said, well, the fact that you're concerned about it is probably a good sign that you are. Because if you weren't saved, the devil would make you busy on something else. You wouldn't even be worried about it. And if you're worried about, wow, I'm a sinner, is God going to take me? That's a good sign you're one of his kids. Because now you're worried about pleasing him. You weren't before, were you? If so be you've tasted the Lord is gracious. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness. They shall be filled. Jesus said, I'm the bread of life. He that cometh to me shall never hunger. See, there's three things in the Bible mentioned that will help us grow. First is milk, the milk of the word. Then the bread, and then the meat. See, new babies, all they need is milk. It's amazing. They can drink nothing but milk and turn it into fingernails and skin and muscles and hair and teeth. Well, not teeth for a while, but organs, and that's it. Then when you're a brand new Christian, just read the Bible. You don't even need to understand it all. You probably won't. Just read it. If you read it for 30 minutes, at least you weren't sinning for 30 minutes. That's where something, okay? And you might get something out of it. Babies only absorb about 10%. Or Amber, maybe you know, what percent do the babies absorb since you're a nurse? And the rest ends up in the diaper. Have they done studies on that? What, 6 to 8? Can't hear you. 60% they absorb, and 40% you see in the diaper later. Yeah. See, just read the word. You don't have to get it all. Don't worry about it, okay? A bird that wandereth from her nest. So is a man that wandereth from his place. Strange verse. Clark had a commentary on that. A bird that wandereth from her nest, leaving her own brood, places of retreat and feeding ground behind, and going into strange countries where she's exposed to every kind of danger. So is the man who leaves his family connections and country and goes into strange parts to find employment, better his circumstances, or make a fortune. I've seen multitudes of such wanderers from their place come to great misery and wretchedness. God's general advice is, do good, dwell in the land, thou shalt be fed. Oftentimes you're better off just Stay where you are and make it work, okay? The Lord said in Psalm 37, trust in the Lord, do good, dwell in the land, stay there. Delight thyself in the Lord. Commit thy way to the Lord. Rest in the Lord. Wait patiently. Some people get so impatient. Man, if I spend $40,000 and move across the country, I can make 2 cents an hour more. Yeah, brilliant thinking, okay? Son, be cautious about moving away. Sometimes it's good. I've moved several times in my life. The grass may look greener somewhere else, but it might be artificial turf. Also, moving to escape problems might not work. You may be the problem and will bring yourself along. I remember talking to Pastor Dawson when I was just a new Christian in his church. One of the guys in the church, brilliant, genius artist and sign maker, but he was always wrecking his life with alcohol or something else. And I'd go to jail, get out, do good for a while, go back to jail, get out. I said, brother, pastor, what is wrong with Dan? He said, Brother Hovind, he goes to different places and he doesn't realize he brought himself along. Yeah, maybe you need to look in the mirror. Maybe you are the problem. You're not running from the problem. You are it, okay? So ointment and perfume rejoice the heart. So doth the sweetness of a man's friend by hearty counsel. Something about perfume. Only mentioned in the Bible 3 times. Like this one. Guy sitting next to a lady on the park bench. You use perfume. She says, you don't. Gypsy Smith, his wife died when he was in his late 70s, okay? Gypsy Smith, a great Salvation Army preacher back in the 1940s. And so his wife, his second wife, Mary Alice Shaw, was married him on her 27th birthday when he was 78. She was 27. When asked why he married one so young, he said, I'd rather smell perfume than liniment. I like that. Married by his own son. 50-year-old son did the wedding. Dad, you take this? Okay. Anyway, he received some criticism, of course. She was a great helper to him through the rest of his career. Ointment and perfume rejoice the heart. So doth the sweetness of a man's friend by hearty counsel. Thine own friend and thy father's friend forsake not. Neither go into thy brother's house in the day of thy calamity. When you're having a hard time, it's not the time to always go to your brother or sister and whine, can you help me? Some people, when they call me on the phone, I know what they're going to do. They're going to beg for money. I got several of them labeled in my phone. Count on it. Brother Hovind, I need more money. I'm broke again. Well, have you tried getting a job? No, not yet. Maybe that would help, you know. Have you tried quitting some of the habits that are eating up your money? Have you quit smoking yet? No. Oh, but you need me to loan you money or give you money so you can support your habit. No, thank you. Okay. I got enough people to support around here. Okay. Don't go. Okay. It's better is a neighbor that is near than a brother far off. My son, be wise, make my heart glad, that I may answer him that reproacheth me. Son, I want to be proud of you. Be careful about breaking long-term friendships of yours or mine, and live to make me proud of you, son. A prudent man foreseeth the evil. He sees what's coming and goes around it. You see these short videos they put up all the time about idiots on the highway. Drive right into something right in front of them. I didn't see it. Drive right into the back of a semi. Or especially these tall trucks that go under low bridges. Those are hilarious. A prudent man can see what's coming and hideth himself. Same verse back in Proverbs 22. We talked about that. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. Prudent, acting with or showing care and thought for the future. 2 guys walked into a bar. The third one ducked. I take people up to the North 40 where we feed the cows, you know, and I say, look, watch where you walk. Almost always there's one kid steps right in it. I say, do you watch where you walk? Okay, well, you can't ride in my Jeep anymore. Okay. Prudent man foresees the evil. Don't drive a 4-ton vehicle onto soft ground, okay? He that blesseth his friend with a loud voice, rising early in the morning, it shall be counted a curse unto him. Don't go to your neighbor's house at 5 in the morning. Hey, Johnny, you up yet? Let's go get some coffee. You may face, the gun barrel out the door if you don't shut up, okay? A continual dropping in a very rainy day and a contentious woman are alike. You ever been in a building where they got a leak in the roof and you hear the drip, 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 drive you nuts? Solomon had 700 wives. He should know. He said a continual dropping in a rainy day and a contentious woman are alike. Some people just, they want to argue, but no matter what you say, they want to contend with you. Contentious, fond of a contention, given to angry debate, provoking dispute or contention, quarrelsome. They just like to fight. Okay? It's better to dwell in the wilderness with a contentious and angry woman. Continual dropping is like a contentious woman. Contentious, found in the Bible 3 times. But contentious man, contentious woman twice. I wonder if there's a story there. Okay. To them that are contentious and do not obey the truth, indignation and wrath in Romans and 1 Corinthians. But if any man seem to be contentious, we have no custom. See, people argue about dumb things. For instance, we've had people come here from all kinds of churches. We've had Quakers come, Mennonites, etc. They love it here. We love it too. I was raised Mennonite for about, 5 or 6 years in East Peoria, Illinois. Here's 1 Corinthians 11 tells the story about covering your head, okay? You see, I pray, look at verse 4. Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoreth his head. So men are not supposed to cover their head when they pray, according to the Bible. Every woman that prayeth or prophesieth with her head uncovered, dishonoreth her head. For that is even as all one as if she were shaven. So here we go. This is where they get the idea. Women should cover their head. But let's read it now carefully. For a man indeed ought not to cover his head, for as much as he is the image and glory of God. Okay? Keep going. Neither was the man created for the woman. You can read all that for yourself. Judge for yourselves. Is it comely that a woman pray unto God uncovered? Doth not nature itself teach you? If a man have long hair, it's a shame to him. I read that as a new Christian, got a haircut like this, had it ever since. You want to have long hair? Great. Say, Jesus had long hair. You don't know he did not. Look at the pictures and coins of that day. Caesar and those kind of guys, they had haircut kind of like mine. And then when Judas had to go kiss him to pick him out of the crowd, I wonder why. He looked like everybody else. That's why. Okay. If you want to have long hair, that's fine. I'm not going to argue with you over it. I'm just saying, I read that verse and it made me change my haircut. Maybe you don't care. Okay. Watch this now. But if a woman have long hair, it's a glory for her, to her. Her hair is given her for a covering. The hair is the covering. You don't need a hat. The hair's the covering, okay? But if any man seem to be contentious, we have no such custom. It's not worth arguing about. I read what the Bible says. I do. Many religions teach that the head should be covered anytime you're in public or in prayer. Several religions have head coverings. The Roman Catholic and Eastern Orthodox. The nuns wear habits and include head coverings. Protestant churches like Amish, Mennonite, Brethren groups. We had several Plymouth Brethren in our school when I taught in Kankakee, Illinois. I remember one of the girls, brilliant student, always straight A's. Whenever we'd pray, she'd put her hands over her head because she didn't have a hat. Okay, it's not worth fighting over. I don't think it's necessary. The hair is the covering. In Judaism, Orthodox and Hasidic women are expected to cover their hair. So you want to cover the covering. Okay. Jewish men wear how do you pronounce it? Kippot, I think they call it, skull cap. Islam requires Muslim women to cover their heads with a hijab, whatever. Yeah, okay. I don't fight them over this. It's not something to be contentious over. This is an example of things that different religions do. Of course, they think they're spiritual and you're not. Those who claim they keep the Sabbath, they think they're spiritual and nobody else is. I've never met anybody who keeps the Sabbath. None. How can you go out of your house to have a Seventh-day Adventist meeting? The Bible says you can't go out of your house. You can't use any utilities. You can't make anybody else work. Anyway, we'll go through all that on video 7. But it's not worth fighting over. I stated my case. Here's why I believe what I believe. So the woman's hair is the covering. But don't be contentious about it. It's not a battle worth fighting. Let them wear their hat if they like and focus on bigger issues, son. Okay. Judging yourselves. Let's see. The hair is given her for the covering. Now, if a woman has short hair, she might want to wear a hat for that reason. You do whatever you want, okay? Ask God what pleases him. Okay, let's see. Whoso hideth her, talking about the contentious woman, hideth the wind. I love that. What a way to say it. I will refrain from any more comment on that. And the ointment of his right hand, which bewrayeth itself. Iron sharpeneth iron. What? So a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. If you're a good friend with somebody, you ought to make them better. Sharpen them. When you sharpen an axe, use a steel file to sharpen a steel axe. But they rate steel based on the hardness, okay? Some is different, numbered 1 through 10, okay? A true friend points out your flaws to help you. He's the kind you want to keep close, son. It may hurt a little bit and feel like they're grinding on you, but you will be sharper when it's done. Whoso keepeth the fig tree shall eat the fruit thereof. So he that waiteth on his master shall be honored. As in water, face answereth the face, so the heart of man to man. When you look in the water, when it's not wavy, you see your reflection. Where the word narcissist comes from. Some guy named Narcissus or something. He did something wrong and the gods cursed him. You're going to look at your reflection in the water and fall in love with yourself. Oh, and he spent the rest of his life staring at himself. Where the word narcissist comes from. Who cares? Okay. Hell and destruction are never full. So the eyes of man are never satisfied. Doesn't matter how many football games you watch, you want to watch more. Yeah. No matter how many, whatever you're in love with, you always want more. People with a big house, you know what they want? Bigger house. People with a fast car, guess what they want? Faster car. People with $1 million in the bank, guess what they want? More money. As the finding pot for silver and the furnace for gold, so is a man to his praise. To refine, you heat him up, scrape away the dross, it gets more pure all along. Though thou shouldst bray a fool in a mortar amongst wheat with a pestle, yet will not his foolishness depart from him. What is this talking about? Well, this is a mortar and pestle. You use these in science class, okay? You take a pestle and the pestle and the mortar and you grind things up in there, okay, to mix them together. If you bray a fool in a mortar among wheat, his foolishness won't depart. I guess that means even when you break it down to the cellular level, he's still a fool. It must be in the DNA. He's stupid all the way through. I've met people like that, okay? Be thou diligent to know the state of thy flocks, and look well to thy herds. Take care of your stuff, okay? For riches are not forever. Doth the crown endure to every generation? See, the hay appears, and the tender grass shows itself, and the herbs of the mountains are gathered. The lambs are for thy clothing, and the goats for the price of the field, are the price of the field. Thou shalt have goat's milk enough for thy food, for the food of thy household, for the maintenance of thy maidens. Solomon is teaching his son, take care of what you've got, take care of your flocks, save up, build a barn, put your hay in there, take care of your sheep, and you'll be fine for life. I know people, they get enough money, but they waste it all on dumb stuff. Told the story many times, but picked up a guy hitchhiking one time. He said, you mind if I smoke in your car? I said, well, yes, sir, I do, because the smell will be here long after you're gone. I said, how much do those things cost? He said, $1.75 a pack. This was a long time ago. I said, how many packs do you smoke a day? He said, 2.5. Got my calculator watch, $1.75 times 2.5. I said, you do this every day? He said, yeah, every day. I said, times every day. I said, how long have you been doing this? He said, 20 years. I said, times 20. I said, sir, you spent $50,000 on smoke. You made your own cloud. And now you're out here with your thumb out because you can't get your cloud started this morning, can you? I said, why did you smoke the first one? He said, well, I was with my friends. I said, stop right there. I know the rest of the story, okay? All you got to have is dumb friends to do dumb things, okay? So take care of your stuff. Solomon giving advice, good advice to his sons. Boys, here's how you live. Okay. Any questions or comments of urgency, brother?
No, not of urgency.
Okay. Okay. Tomorrow night, hopefully, Lord willing, Proverbs 28. Come see our place down here. It's amazing. Dinosaur Adventureland. It's fun. Lots of. If you got ideas for cool swings or slides, or you want to come help us either build or pay for the material to build the 12 apartments now. This is the expensive part. You got some toilets or showers. Some of you plumbers might have 5 toilets sitting in your house that you're not using. I don't want the ones you use, okay? But we got to get everything to build 5 complete motel rooms, but basically, 12 complete motel rooms. Help us out if you would. Okay, let's pray and let's sleep. Thank you, Lord, for letting us be part of your family. Thank you for giving us your written word. Lord, thank you for all the millions down through history that have suffered and died so we can hold a copy of it. Help us read it and heed it now in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, thank you. See you tomorrow night. Bye.